So today we're going to be talking about Mixia, DistroKid's new mastering service. And we're going to compare it against a real master that I did to see how good Mixia actually is or is not. My name is Tyson. I'm a mastering engineer here at Dinosaur Dog Mastering. Before we dive into the actual content of looking at Mixia, DistroKid's new mastering tool, I have a free bonus for watching this video, a free mixing checklist. So if you want faster, better mixes, then it all starts with the ultimate mixing checklist. So you can get that right in the description below. It's the first link, should bring you to the page where you can download that guide. Let's dive into the content of Mixia and how good it is. Should you be using it, etc. Let's dive in. Mixia, DistroKid's new mastering AI service that's associated with DistroKid. A lot of you who use DistroKid have probably seen this. They've been advertising it pretty heavily. I decided, hey, let's try it out and see how it goes. So I mastered a track. This is the settings I used on it. I think that if you're going to be using Mixia, this is probably the best settings to use. I might use the higher intensity if you can, if it doesn't sound too compressed, because the medium intensity here that I'm using is actually pretty quiet, and we'll get into that more later. And then the EQ options, this is anything other than middle is just way too warm or way too bright. So it's not really worth changing the EQ options on this. Anyway, so I downloaded my track that I uploaded and put it in my DAW so I could actually take a look at it. So here's the Mixia master that they did on my track. So I'm gonna play the raw mix that I gave it, and then I'll play the Mixia master for you. The raw mix itself is very quiet, and I do that intentionally because I like to be able to master my own tracks with lots and lots of headroom. So I intentionally mix a lot of my mix very quietly. So you'll notice that there's a massive gain increase, but took a look at the meters, especially the PAS analyzer, and see exactly what's happening sonically in the mix versus the master, and then continue on analyzing the Mixia master and the observations that I would have as a mastering engineer looking at the Mixia master. So overall, I think they did a decent job getting this right sonic balance. Sounds decent in terms of sonic character of it. The one complaint that I have is that the top end sounds really digital, and they obviously boosted it quite a bit, and it needed to be boosted from the mix, so that was good, but it just sounds like they took a stock EQ and just boosted it, and that's really not the way to tastefully boost the top end in a master. So that's my one complaint with it sonically. And then I think it's very interesting if you look at the dynamics as well. They definitely did not over limit it, but it sounds like they did over compress it. And I think it's because the kick was really loud in the mix itself. And so that's showing up inside of the compression chain that they used inside of the AI machine. And the robot made a mistake and didn't account for that, and so it sounds like it's pumping whenever that kick is playing. So I'm going to play it again and listen to the kick. You can feel this pumping effect whenever that kick comes in. And I'm not sure if you'll be able to actually hear that over the YouTube algorithm, but I'm gonna include these files down below so you can take a listen to them directly as well. Okay, so that's the Mixia master. Now let's compare that against a master that I did. And just to catch you up on exactly what I did is, it's going through this whole mastering chain. The first thing I did was knock off anything below about 37 hertz. There's really nothing in this mix that's relevant below that point. I used this tube EQ here to boost the top and low end, similar to what they did. They definitely have some boosted top and low end. I like using this because it adds some nice saturation to the track, so it's not going to be quite as obvious as a digital compressor in terms of just boosting stuff. It adds some nice saturation, so it evens out essentially those areas that I'm boosting. And then I use this Clariphonic by Kush to boost the top end a little bit more. Got a little bit more smoothness out of it on the top end. Oh, and Logic just crashed. Cool. Kush always crashes Logic. So, and then the last thing I did after the Clariphonic was I just boosted the sides by about 1 decibel and rolled off a lot of the lows on the sides here. I normally don't do any mid-side processing, but just for this master, I felt like the kick and the vocal were really overtaking everything, so I wanted to boost some of the sides a little bit for this mix. And then in terms of compression, I just have this one compressor here. I'm getting about 1 decibel of gain reduction, and I have a really slow attack and fast release, and then a ratio of 3:1. So I'm not really getting, again, I'm not getting too much compression here, just a little bit, and then I'm boosting the gain a lot going into my limiter over here, or leveler, and I have the FGX2 here getting even a little bit more gain, and then ultimately getting the RMS up to about -9 is what I'm getting in this one. I intentionally left it to try to get it as transparent as possible. I did add a little bit of low end punch, a little bit of detail, but really not too much there. And then I left it on the clear mode just to, again, try to get the most transparent master out of here as possible to compare it against the Mixia master. So here is my master versus the Mixia master. We'll start with mine and then go to the Mixia master.
Come buy me a crown, something old to come buy me a throne, something to live and come buy me a crown, something old to come buy me a crown, something old to come buy me a throne, something to live and come buy me a crown, something old.
To me, they just don't really account for everything that's inside of the audio you're giving it. And while it does balance it out sonically and it could potentially improve some mixes, I just think it's too digital sounding and it doesn't really add any flavor or emotion to the master itself. So if you're interested in getting a free test master, you can go over to dinosaurdogmastering.com and I can give you a free test master on your song instead of using Mixia, which again, I don't think it's necessarily terrible, but it's not good. So if you really care about your music going someplace, then I would not recommend using Mixia and try to find a better solution for your mastering. I hope this video was helpful and I will see you in the next one.